You can share the screen, ma'am. Your video screen.
Okay, okay.
You can share the screen, ma'am. Video screen.
Okay, okay.
You share the screen. Video screen. Welcome to the Art of Healing Gurukul, and this is the launching program of Ghar Ghar Homoeopathy Project through WICCI National Homeopathic Council. Welcome everyone. Today we have with us our guest Usha Sharma. Let me introduce in a few words about our speaker, Usha Sharma. Usha Sharma is an educator, freelancer, academic, and soft skills trainer. She is also an student self-management and confidence coach. Teaching and training are her passion as well as her profession. She helps teachers and trainers and students create a positive self-image and boost their self-confidence, enhance their visual presence, and expand their comfort zone, sharpen their academic and soft skills, which help them to transform their personalities, break their limiting beliefs, and develop success mindsets to attract better work opportunities, set higher goals, and career advancements. She is a postgraduate in inorganic chemistry, MSc, and has certification in neurolinguistic programming. She also has a diploma in educational management and is a NABET certified in train-the-trainer skills. She is state president of Uttarakhand Mentoring and Soft Skills Councils, WICCI, Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, since September 2022. She is the recipient of iconic Women Creating Better World for All award at WEF, Women's Economic Forum. She is the Volunteer of the Year 2021-22 by Unmukt Foundation. She was awarded as the Volunteer of Year 2021-22. She was also conferred Innovative Idea Award for Innovation in Education during Global Conference on Education by Education We Want. So many credentials to her, and I welcome Usha Sharma.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajeshwari, ma'am. And it's my privilege, really. I'm grateful for giving this opportunity to me to witness this wonderful program, Train the Trainer, that you are going to launch today. I'm blessed to be here with you. Thank you so much.
So, before I start with the launching, before we start with your speech and presentation, I request Usha Sharma and Mary Anne Kannengeiser, who is also with us today. She is also the speaker. I request both of you to inaugurate the launching program by just clicking on the video. Thank you so much, Usha Sharma ji. And Mary Annie Kannengeiser is also with us. She will also present her speech and a few words for our inauguration. And I request Usha Sharma to start with her speech.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Great evening, one and all present here. It's a privilege to speak in front of this august gathering of all the doctors. Really, I'm feeling so proud. And this opportunity that has been given to me, yeah, excuse me. So I would just like to ask whether which language are you comfortable with? Should I keep it mixed or in Hindi or English? Okay, so I'll just keep it mixed. All right, English, please. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for this. So I have been given this opportunity to speak over the soft skills that are required by the teachers. As I'm in the field of soft skills, training and education, I would share some of the learnings that I have experienced through my experience and some of the knowledge that I have gathered about the soft skills and how these soft skills can be helpful in making this profession a great success. Whenever we are sick or we are ill, we feel uncomfortable. The person who we think of is a doctor. And doctor is believed to be God personified. But we are human beings, right? So we have some of the shortcomings as well, or we learn through our experiences. So with the experiences, we keep on learning and we keep growing, right? And we have different backgrounds, different topography, geographic areas. So there is bound to have certain differences, right? But patient is a patient, no matter whether the patient belongs to India or Pakistan or some other country or some other language like South African country or European country or whatever. Being the human beings, they have the same feelings. They express their joy in English, in smile or the laughter, right? And the excitement. And the same language shared for the sorrow or pain. No matter whichever country they belong to, whichever language they follow, whichever culture they are, they all cry when they are sad. So it is important to understand and acquire those skills which connect to those people. So whenever they are in pain, they are looking forward to you. That you will help them to recover from the pain that they are going through. Right? But there are sometimes, as a patient, today I'll be speaking as a speaker, as a soft skills trainer, as well as from the point of view of patient, because I have been sick many a times. I have gone through certain chronic diseases and I have visited many doctors. So what I have experienced during that period and how my family has been like what they have experienced from the patient's view of point and what they expect of a doctor. So my sharing will be both as a trainer and as well as a patient, right? So let me share with you some of the skills that I wish that doctors should have, which will definitely help them to connect with their patients very well and progress in this profession and take this opportunity to serve the mankind to a greater height. With your permission, I'll share my screen with you. Is the screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So first of all, let us understand what are the soft skills. Anybody would like to share? Please feel free to speak.
Soft skills are those skills which can, while communicating interpersonal and interpersonal skills, and to communicate softly without making any conflict.
Yes. Thank you so much for this response. Yes, I am getting some of the responses here as well. Yeah, thank you. So, there are two types of skills, right? One is hard skills and other is soft skills. The hard skills are the one that you acquire, that you have the knowledge, you have the skills, like you are skilled in surgery, or you have the skills, that degree that you have acquired, or in the Ayurvedic or the homeopathic or allopathy, or like the engineers, on the computer soft skills, computer operating skills. These all are the hard skills. And the soft skills are the skills that help us to communicate with others effectively, as well as to establish harmonious relationships with others in personal life as well as in professional life. And there is a long list of soft skills. It's not limited to only the communication, or right. We say that skills that help us to connect with others in any situation and make the communication or the transaction, the thought transaction is happening, that meaningful, so that they work for us. You might have seen in your life that there are many people who have very qualified, much more qualified than you may be, but they are not so successful. And you might have also seen the people who are less qualified than you, but they are more successful in life. So what makes that difference? That's only the soft skills that they have. So some of the soft skills that are important for doctors. First of all, what do you think? What is the most important thing in building any relationship? What is the foundation of a relationship? Pooja ji saying something and I'm unable to. Ease of communication. Okay, thank you, Sanaji.
Yeah, so I said that, okay,
Trust.
when we are sharing our thought process, communicating with each other.
Yes, right. And here Marian has said trust. Yes, thank you for this, all the responses. Yes, no doubt, it is the trust. Trust is the foundation of relationship, be it in the family or in our professional life, between a teacher and a student or a doctor and a patient, right? So building trust. Now, how do you build trust? The question is, because if the person doesn't trust you, he or she will not be free to communicate with you or share her thoughts, her worries, her pain, her problems with you, right? So if you have the confidence, the trust, okay, this is the right person, then he will share everything freely with you. So how do you communicate that? How do you communicate that I am trustworthy? In simple word, if you say, that is by showing your character. Now, what does it mean by that? It means by showing the genuine interest in them, by showing that I care for you, right? And by being honest in your communication. Be reliable. Yes, perfectly. Be reliable and open. Thank you, Marian, for this response. Right? So building trust is the first and foremost thing that we must strive to be. Right? And be clear communication. Right? Trust. Then only the trust will be built and then you will be able to. Next is emotional intelligence and empathy, the second skill, which is very important. Now, emotional intelligence is the ability to understand your own emotions and manage them, as well as to understand the other person's emotions and feel with them how they feel. There are two things, two words, sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is something like feeling for someone. Oh, something so bad has happened, poor girl, your poor guy, he's suffering so much, but doing nothing about it, right? And empathy is feeling with the person, putting yourself into their shoes and feeling how they feel. That's empathy, feeling with them. So being a doctor, being in such a profession, it's important that we understand our own emotions and be empathetic to others' needs. And why it is important to understand and manage your own emotions? Because the patient may be critical, right? He may need your sincere attention, undivided attention. But if you are emotionally disturbed, if you are carrying certain feeling, you go to the operation room or you go to the clinic where your brain is already full of thoughts, which may be negative at times. So what will happen? You won't be able to give undivided attention to the person, right? And yes, of course, to maintain the personal professional well, right? So you have to make that also. That is true, that you have to know that where the boundary is. But at the same time, you have to understand that my personal life is aside and that my professional life. The moment you enter your clinic or your hospital, you know that the things are different now. Okay, so whatever thought process there going on, put a check over there. You can just relate it with the traffic signal, like how you have your stop and then pause and then go. So that process we need to master while we have to manage your emotions. This is one of the trick that you can easily apply in your life when you feel it difficult, that how to manage my own emotions. Okay, so whatever is negative going on, stop, take a pause, and then think which next step, what the next step should be, and which emotion to let go and which emotion or thought to bring in. Need to replace the negative one with the positive one immediately. Then comes the communication. Communication is very, very important. Communication can be written communication, verbal communication, as well as non-verbal communication. Now, if you go by the skill set, there is a Mehrabian rule of communication, which says that only 7% of our spoken words, right? Whatever we are speaking, out of which only 7% of the message is communicated by the words that we are uttering, right? And the remaining 93% out of that, 35% is our non-verbal, that is our facial expressions, our gestures, and the 58% is by the tonality, paralinguistic, that is your pitch, your volume, your tone, how you are saying, what you are saying. You must have heard that many a times. People won't remember what you said, but they will remember how you said it.
How you said. How you said.
Yes. So the communication is very, very important. Here, written, one thing I would like to just tell and request all of you doctors that please write in legible handwriting, because I want to know कि मेरे लिए आपने क्या prescribe, what you have prescribed for me, which medicines I am going to take, what treatment has been suggested for me. But what happens, other than that farmer fellow or that medical store fellow, no one else can read it. in my life, hardly I have seen any prescription which I could read. Really, it was. Okay. So please, when we are in nursery right now, see, when we start learning that how to write, teachers make so much of efforts to please write cursive writing, make the handwriting legible. But after so many years of education, what happens that handwriting that becomes, I don't know. I don't understand that. What is the logic behind? Can anybody suggest that? Okay, can anybody explain why all the doctors have seen handwriting?
Ma'am, so that self-medication should be avoided.
Okay,
Think, Hi, I'm Dr. Tanushree. I believe
yes,
that the reason is our thought process works so fast that
yeah.
we try to match it with our handwriting. So it's usually like, it's not
Mm,
up to that. It's not so good.
And
okay.
yes, probably you have not consulted the doctors who are being scolded by the seniors to write so fair. Like my handwriting, oh, everyone in the family can read, so no problems. We have all the categories here.
Wow, that's great. I would just love to meet such a doctor. All right.
Sure, please welcome.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate this. Actually, what happens when we go to the doctor and the injection is given to you, and when you reach home back, and then family members ask, okay, what was the vaccine that was given to you? And I say, I don't know. Something is written over there. You read it, right? So communicate by all means. Communicate well in the written communication, your verbal communication, what you want to tell. That, oh wow, Dr. Charanjit Kaur says that, yeah, mine is also readable. That's really giving you some positive vibes. That's a great. So verbal communication also. And I have seen that there are very few people, of the doctors I have seen, those who talk from heart to the patient. And I am fan of one or the two doctors that I had family really like. I would give an example of one of the doctor, MBBS, and he like you go and he will make you comfortable, talk so much, ask all the questions, listen to you patiently, and if not required, he won't give you a single medicine. And very rarely I have seen that. I have all, as I told you, that I have got all the experiences both. One of the experience was like, okay, that I will share in the later part of this. So verbal communication, when we talk about, here comes your communication. When we talk, it's not about how we speak, it's about the listening as well. So active listening is very important. What the person wants to say, that what's the reading between the lines. Most of the times what happens that, see, you are the expert of your field. But definitely the patient doesn't know. He may be having some knowledge from the Google and all, but he doesn't know much about it. But you are the expert of it. And just don't be in confidence that sometimes what happens when we know everything, we feel that okay, I have understood. I have just seen the nerves and I have understood. But many a times what happens, it's not about the what you have diagnosed, how you have seen. If you just pay the attention to the patient, what he wants to say, so half of his pain is already gone once you give the full ears to him. So please listen to the patient, what he wants to say, right? So then non-verbal. Also with the non-verbal, when the patient is speaking, so by making the nodding your head, smiling, or saying, oh, I see, it must be painful, and I can understand. And I know that if the doctor, there are so many patients, it becomes difficult for you. I understand that also. The other patients are waiting, so you might be in a hurry. So fatafat as soon as this case should be done, right? Prescribe. I have understood what has happened. But there are certain things. One, my daughter had developed reflex, this, what we call it, some acidity. I'm not, what do we call it? Reflex action or what?
Reflex, acid
Ah,
reflex.
Acid reflex, yes. Thank you. Thank you for correcting. So acid reflex, she suffered for more than 2 years for that. And her situation was like, the moment she will wake up in the morning, her entire mouth had that burning sensation. And like she was unable to eat anything. And she showed to many of the doctors. Doctors, they would just listen to her. That, okay, mouth is burning. The moment she says that, they start scribbling the medicines. Right? So she showed to many of the doctors. She had taken medicines for 2 years. And then she came here in India, and she one of the doctors suggested that, okay, you go to a gastro specialist and show them. She went to the person. He is that very renowned person, very good, like the gastro specialist. We reached, and he didn't even listen to him, just saw the reports. And she said she was staying in Paris at that time. So from Paris, she had flown here abroad, and she came here. And he didn't even listen to her. The moment she said, okay, I have been suffering for this, and how it, he didn't even ask her, how do you feel, whether you have problem, when did the problem start, how do you feel, does it happen after eating something, or nothing. He gave the medicines, and within 2 minutes we were out of the cave. She felt so bad. She said कि मैम मैं पेरिस से यहाँ पे आई हूँ डॉक्टर को दिखाने के लिए, मुझे बताना है कि मुझे कैसा फील होता है, how I am feeling. And but she was, and so many medicines, 6-7 types of medicines, and she was like, I am not gonna take this medicine. Right? Yes, GRD, perfectly, GRD, yes, definitely. So he also said that, okay, you are suffering from this, but medicines, she could not. But she was like, he is not willing to listen to me what I have to say. I have so many questions to ask, but he is not giving me time. So she was very much like frustrated. Okay. So after some time, what she did, she stopped visiting doctors. She researched on Google for 6 months. She changed her lifestyle. She made changes in her lifestyle. She started certain the food. She identified the food which was creating this problem for her. She avoided totally from her diet, and on her own, after suffering so long, she got the cure of it by her. So I just request that please listen to the patient. How the person is feeling. That is very important. Next comes the time management. Definitely, I won't take much time on this part, the time management, because I'm sharing this just because you also a family person. You have to take care of your family. You have to take care of your patients. You might have some administrative jobs also. You may have certain teams also to follow. So having the time and having certain me time for yourself, where you are at least half an hour or 1 hour for yourself, where you can pursue the hobbies that you like, something that you like to do, right? So that you get just de-stressed. Because most of the stress comes from the time management, mismanagement of time, right? And then leadership. Again, leadership is important for the people, for the doctors, those who are into leadership roles, like those who have to handle the team of the doctors or the nurses many a time. That will be also useful for you, taking some skills in that. Yes, definitely. I would, yes, Dr. Usha, definitely. I appreciate this thing that all the homeopathy doctor, definitely. So that I'm talking about all that, we had visited all the allopathy doctors, but I have a very good experience of the homeopathy. Whenever I went, they took 1 hour only listening to me. I also had certain problems with the depression. For 6 months, I couldn't just lift my arm. It used to so painful it was. So, but thank God that whenever I had a chronic problem, I got cured because of the homeopathy. So I have that love for the homeopathy and this. But the problem is the pain that hurts me is many homeopathy doctors are prescribing the allopathy medicines. So I just want to request, you have such a beautiful science, you. So please practice that. And that alternative medicines, there are already many those who are prescribing the allopathy medicine. So if you have the art of healing something, right, that is different, that is like not of this injections, painful injections, or having the side effects, lots of side effects of the medicines which can be taken from the off the counter, anybody, right? And they are swallowing those pills. So please give that. Practice homeopathy only, I request you. This is such a marvelous, such a beautiful thing. Then teamwork, yes, with the teams where you have more, because you have the nurses, you have the doctor, you have the sub boys and all. Then teamwork is also important. Lastly, the cultural differences. I think I am overshooting the time, so I'll just quickly end it here. Cultural differences were also very important. There may be language differences, there may be religious practices, there may be dietary restrictions because of the particular religion, right? There may be certain traditional ways of healing where people, and there may be certain gender roles. For a particular community or in a particular religion, maybe female patients may not like that male doctors see them. So make them comfortable that that cultural differences should be known, because sometimes they may have a very like awkward situations or unpleasant situations may crop up because of that. So these are some of the softer skills that I believe that doctors should have. And quickly in this professionalism is very, very important. What does it mean by professionalism? That is meeting the standards that matter. Yes. Thank you. Okay, Rajeshwari ma'am says that, okay, we can finish force a little bit focus on teamwork, so that can be done. So teamwork is what? How can you, wait a minute, what is it? So in teamwork, if you talk about the sum of the good things that teamwork, how the best team can be built is, first of all these things are important. Whatever you have seen earlier: building trust, communication, emotional intelligence, empathy, and leadership. All these are soft skills are required for the teamwork. Because if there is no trust, there will be no team building. If the communication is not clear, miscommunication will happen. If the miscommunication happens, then in a team, all the jobs are interconnected, right? And if the communication is not happening, then proper team work, some or the other aspect of the team will suffer. It is important to share the vision. If you have a team, share the vision with the team. If you are a leader, a good leader is one who leads by front, who shares the vision, who starts, okay, who takes the responsibility, ownership,
Yeah.
right? So teamwork, it is important that whenever you are in a team, play your role well. It shouldn't happen like that somebody, okay, there are 10 members and 3 members are working and the other 7 are not working. You must have seen the relay race, or you must have participated in the relay race also when you are students or when you are kids. So what happens there? If the one person passes the baton to the second one, the second has to take the lead, then the third has to take the lead, right? If any of those 4 is at fault at any place, the entire team loses. The same thing happens here. So if anything is missing, right? Yes, initiative, owning responsibility. Wonderful, Pooja. Okay? So yes, initiative, that has to be proactive. So not like that. In a teamwork, you should know that I must take initiative. It's not that somebody will say, then only you have to do. See the work which is there, and also the distribution of work. There has to be the delegation of work, helping with each other. So what can I do for you? Most of the times we feel like what others can do for us. But in a team, we should be always that what we can do. Wonderful. Caring is sharing. Of course, no doubt about it. Right? So sharing. And for teamwork, it is important to have some time together, appreciating the good things in others, giving a helping hand whenever somebody is in need. Okay, today I share your responsibilities. So tomorrow somebody else will share your. Yes, definitely. Creating win-win situations always. Definitely. Wonderful. Okay. And encouraging. Definitely, definitely. Wonderful points coming from Pooja ma'am. Yes. So encouraging appreciation is the very good quality of a leader, right? And which very few people know. But appreciation should be the genuine appreciation. It's not like if the appreciation is not genuine, it will look like flattery, and the flattery stings, right? So there has to be genuine appreciation, encouragement, being supportive for the other person. Yes, you can do it. I am there with you. You try. Okay. And when understanding the other person's feelings, that is also very important. Sometimes what happens, we feel that I have the need, this work is to be done, and that the other we go and just share. Okay, do this, do this, do this. But it's very important once you are sharing, whenever you are sharing the work, you are delegating the work to the team to understand the pulse. When the patient comes to you, you check the pulse, how the person is. So the same thing is important for working with the team. Sometimes a person may be carrying a baggage from home or having the baggage from the past, some relationship, broken relationship or something. कुछ भी हो सकता है. So understanding that feeling. So empathy is very important in teamwork. To know how your fellow is feeling. Whether he's good. Yes, definitely. Maintaining enthusiasm and being. Sometimes what happens in a team, the mood of the team is very low, right? Sometimes this happens, na? That I'm sorry. Sometimes it happens that you are energy is low, feeling sad. At that time, cheering up, lifting up. Chalo, come on, let's do this. So energizing, always smiling, so that the others can. The person who lights up the team, lifts the spirits of the team. That is such type of person you have to be. And there are two types of people. One is problem, like those who are focusing on problem, and the other who focus on the solution. A good team player is the one, or the good leader is the one who focuses on the solutions. Right? So if you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. So in a team, whenever there is a difference, there is some problem comes, be positive. Right? Yes. Problem focused, solution oriented. Yes, of course you have to look at the problem, but you cannot keep looking at the problem. You have to find, okay, this has happened, now we have to see what can be done, right? Rather than focusing who did it. So why did it happen? Rather than saying that, asking who did it, it's important to ask, why did it happen? What are the loopholes? Where is the fault? Not who is at fault. Right? And then now, since it has happened, so what is the next we can do about it? What are the solutions? So how can we make up for it? And one more thing also important, which is very, very important in teamwork, that not taking things personally. Sometimes a situation comes, your senior may say something, right? Or a colleague may say something. So not taking that things personally. Forgiving and okay. Yes, what to do next. So don't take the things personally and look for, or sometimes what happens, your idea, you are giving brilliant ideas. Okay, you think that you are giving brilliant ideas, but the team leader is not listening to you. So what happens, you feel bad. Okay, he doesn't listen to me. She doesn't listen to me. And I knew he will reject, or I knew she will reject. No, remember that idea is rejected, not you. Okay, so don't have to stay frustrated. Okay, go ahead. Okay, your job is to give the ideas you have given. It's not necessary that the idea will be chosen. So trust the leader. Okay. So negative things should not lower your spirits. Yes, giving ideas like a master, but accepting the decision like a child. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful thought, Poojaji. So I would request that everybody should have that thought. Participation is most important. Yes, Dr. Himal. Lovely, right? Uh, Wonderful. So being in a team, okay, team loses or wins. It is a teamwork. And the leadership quality, when we say it for the team, winning and losing, accept as a team. But the leader, the great leader is one who takes the responsibility, ownership, not blaming. In the team, not because of you, this happened, or because of her, that happened. Leadership is like, I own that. There was something, some problem, right? So success should be shared. Usually what happens, that success has many fathers and failure has none. But a good leader makes says that I am the father of the failure. And when the success comes, shares with all. That is the team. It's a teamwork. So that's the true leader. Okay. So these are some of the things that can build a great team. Sharing, caring, feeling for others, appreciating, encouraging, right? Participation. It's not like that your mood is off, somebody says something, okay, no, I'm not going to participate, tumhe jo karna hai kar lo, whatever you want, you do. Not like that. Be appreciated. Appreciate achievements. Definitely, Dr. Lochin, yes. So celebrate for others, clap for others till it's your time to receive the claps. Instead of feeling jealous from the other's success, good team leaders and good team players, they celebrate others' success as if they have won. Within the team, anybody wins, we have won. Our member has won, right? Creating inclusive work environment, definitely. Wonderful, wonderful thoughts coming in. Thank you so much for being such an interactive team participants. Okay, so now last but not the least, I'll just come to this point, that is professionalism. Professionalism ka matlab kya hai? Professionalism is meeting the standards that matter. Now, what does matter? Looking the part. You are the masters of your knowledge, right? But what happens? Sometimes, knowingly, unknowingly, carelessly, or think like not important, we don't pay attention to the how we are looking, right? We don't mind our appearance, right? Or the dressing sense, or the grooming, or the etiquettes at times. Looking the part is very important. Like there are certain things you have like the moment you say an advocate or a lawyer, that black gown, that image comes in front of your mind, right? The moment we say the teacher, so that chalk and duster or the pen or the books in hand or the sari, that image comes in. And whenever we say doctor, that is the stethoscope and that white apron. But nowadays, I rarely see and go to any clinic, you'll rarely see the apron. That's the beauty. That builds the trust. Okay, so why the priest in the church has that white gown? Why the lawyer has that? Because it establishes a credibility. The moment you see that you are in apron, even if the person is not the doctor, and if he is wearing, you will mistake him like he is a doctor. Doesn't this happen? So looking the part, be in the authority, be in the command, in total control by physical appearance, by your dressing, and by the knowledge. And etiquette, very important, right? So being polite, being courteous, being respectful to the patient, right? And being a role model in the terms of knowledge, skills, attitude. Zig Ziglar is a world-renowned sales trainer, right? And he says that it's your attitude, not your aptitude, that will determine your altitude. Means how good you are, you become at something, which heights you will touch in your career, that will be determined by your attitude, not by the knowledge that you have. So it's very important to have the right kind of attitude. Right. Yes, thank you, Poojaji. So, an inspiration to fellow doctors and students. You should walk the talk. If you are a senior doctor, somebody, so you should be dressed the way dressed. You should have the knowledge, the updates, recent updates, latest updates, so that the following generation, the students they are there, they look up to you. I want to become like her, or I want to become like him. How gracefully, how he is dressed, right? So by your appearance itself, that patient when the patient comes to you, he should see, oh wow, I must go to or her. I always have certain favorite doctors whom I feel like going, no matter how far the doctor is. You would like to visit them. Okay. And ethics and integrity. Like there are many things. Unethical practices going on. And I hope that, and I believe none of you is involved in such kind of practices, that taking commission on the suggestion prescriptions, like on the test and all, unreasonable charges of prescription. And there has to be ethics, means integrity, means when you are able to portray your good picture in front of the patient, that this doctor is Devta, that God we can, right? So equal treatment irrespective of status of patient. It's not like that the high-fi person comes and giving a good treatment to the person, treating him with all the respect, and if the poor person coming in, he should be treated like made waiting for a long time or something like that. So these are some basic things, and I know that you all know this very well and you are practicing that. All right. So yeah, sure. I'm also sure no one from this. Yes, that's the oath for all doctors. Yes, sir. Perfect. Right. So, but here we see that many a times why the rates are exaggerated for the scans, for the x-rays, for the test, because there are the people, there are doctors who are taking commission on that. Right. And I have seen why I refer this doctor again and again, why I'm quoting that this wonderful doctor. Like he has very reasonable fee. He attends to maximum patients. And to each one, no matter how poor or fatehal somebody is in the town, so he will be more empathetic to that person. It's not like you are good, well dressed, and he will speak nicely to you. If the person is in torn clothes, even then he will just put his hand, touch his shoulder. How are you? तो कैसा है? घर पे सब ठीक है ना? All well. Means like feather touch doctor. You say that touch and that the person is healed. Such a wonderful man. So human, really. The moment you reach him, your half of the pain is gone. And when he suggests any test or scan, he writes on the back side that I don't take. So first I was unable to understand why he's writing I don't take. What does it mean? And then I realized it. It meant that when you are going for that X-ray or something for the test, he doesn't take his commission on that. So the patient gets that release. The pathology lab understands he is this prescription is from that doctor who doesn't take, so he charges the reasonable one. जो actual fee है, he charges that actual fee from me. Correct. So that message was not for the patient, but for the pathology lab, that I don't want any cut in that. And I used to be a person who was, yes, a few words about Ghar Ghar Homoeopathy in the end. Yes, definitely. And now I used to have like frustration. I had a depression kind of thing, and every few days I used to visit the doctor. But he got so like worried. He said, "Okay, Usha, next time don't come to me. You don't need any medicines." He gave me a book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. He said, "You need this." So have you seen any doctors like who said that don't come to me, you don't require any medicines, you require this. So he gave me those books. He said, finish this book and then come again, I'll give you another. And I just read those books, and I'm really grateful to that person that today, wow, Pooja, definitely, thank you so much. Yes, great memories. Best book, yes. Lovely. So this kind of doctors we need, yeah, who are God personified. जिन्हें touch करके हम बोल सकते हैं कि these are the gods, real gods. And I know there are many in this. And lastly, the attention to details, that is past history, allergies and all. I suffered with the chloroquinitis. Yes, healing angels, definitely. Then I visited many doctors, skin specialists, allopathy doctors, and after suffering for 6 to 7 months with that, my entire face has got the boils, different kinds, and the entire hands are covered. I did everything from the homemade remedies till to specialist treatments, but nothing did help because nobody asked me, had you taken any medicine before this, when this happened to you? There was one doctor, and I'm proud to say that he was also a homeopathic doctor. So after, in a remote area of the Pithoragarh district, Uttarakhand ke remote jagah pe, wahan pe, I went to him. He asked, had you taken any medicine before that? I said, yes, I had taken chloroquine. And then he said, you have got this. This is the chloroquinitis. And for which I was suffering for 6 months. Within 15 days, I recovered. Just like a magic, miracle. So this is the power. I'm so grateful and so happy that we need to take pride in what you are doing, that is practicing homeopathy or Ayurveda or whatever field you work with. So this is the great, and I am really, yes, Pooja ma'am, definitely the correct diagnosis cures half the case. And I have suffered so much because of this wrong diagnosis that I really, and that's why I believe in homeopathy. All right, because all the times the cure my son's asthma, then my own psoriasis, my this chloroquinitis, that everything, these things were cured by homeopathy. So I am grateful for being this part of this wonderful launching session of this Ghar Ghar Homeopathy. With their permission, I'll just share, stop this share because I have finished my talking. And the wonderful thing that you have started, Dr. Rajeshwari ma'am, and Ghar Ghar Homeopathy, definitely ye hona hi chahiye, because this is the healing thing, something that which is from our culture, हमारी जो संपदा है, हमारी हेरिटेज है होम्योपैथी, वहां से हम चले आ रहे हैं. एंड यू आर जस्ट गिविंग इट टू द, यस, वंडरफुल चीयर्स टू ऑल चार्मिंग होम्योपैथिक फीमेल डॉक्टर्स. Yes, it's a double celebration as the Women's Day also. So I congratulate you, Dr. Rajeshwari ma'am, and the entire team of Homeopathy Council, all the lovely women here, and wish you a wonderful happy Women's Day, as well as this great launches. And I wish all success to this event that you are going to launch, this Ghar Ghar Homeopathy, this project. That's wonderful, wonderful. And commendable work you are doing. And I'm sure many, many more people are going to be benefited with that. And the young doctors, those who are still in students, if there are any. So please, once you become that doctor or you complete your internship, please follow homeopathy only. Don't go to alternative medicines or the allopathy medicines, right? We require more and more such doctors like you. Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to become the part of your this venture. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. I'm done.
Thank you. That was very wonderful speech about the soft skills, and I'm sure that everyone is getting motivated by this. And soft skills are very important, as we are going to conduct a training for the doctors as well as the lay people. So this is where the empathetic nature creating a trust and confidence amongst the people, which will help each one of us who is present here to make the soft skills into play and do the activities. So this is, I'm very thankful to Usha Rajesh Sharma for giving this wonderful speech. With this, I would like to end the speech of Usha Sharma, and we have another speaker here, Mary N.A. Kannengeiser. I would just quote a few lines from the poem of Wordsworth, which I like very much. It's from the prelude. Wisdom and spirit of the universe, thou soul that art the eternity of thought that gives to forms and images a breath and everlasting motion not vain. By day or starlight, thus from my first dawn of childhood, didst thou intertwine for me the passions that build up our human soul, not with the mean and vulgar works of man, but with high objects, with enduring things, with life and nature, purifying thus the elements of feeling and of thoughts, and sanctifying by such discipline both pain and fear until we recognize a grandeur in the beatings of the heart. Such so wonderfully quoted lines by Wordsworth. It reflects all the homeopathy teachings, if you understand the meaning of this. And once more quoting another some lines in Hindi. काफी अभी इम्तिहान बाकी है, युद्ध का अभी आगाज बाकी है, तोड़ती है मुसीबतें तो तोड़ने दो, हौसलों में भी अभी जान बाकी है. So we are not still tired, we are on the battlefield working for making Ghar Ghar Homeopathy a success project and making each one of the citizens of India empowered with the skills of CPR and Heimlich's maneuver and about first aid and about the role of homeopathy. So this is our mission, to train 1 million people by the end of this year, 2023. Thank you. So we have with us Mary N.A. Kannengeiser. Are you there, ma'am? She's a dear friend of mine who has been helping me a lot. We talk frequently, right from the kitchen matters to about homeopathy, also about the pets and giving homeopathic medicine to them. I have a pet with me, a female dog, and whenever I have any complaints, I talk to her and get medicines advice from her. So our Mary Annie Kannengeiser, Ursula Ingrid Mary Annie Kannengeiser, she was born on October 10th, 1961. So we share a common birth month, October. She was born in Passau, Bavaria, Germany. She studied veterinary medicine at LMU Munich after graduating from high school. And after that, she got the license to practice medicine, and she had few frustrating experiences as an assistant in the general veterinary practice. Then she also ran a general veterinary practice with more focus on homeopathy. And she gave training in her specialist areas. Later, she also had certain death-like experiences, and she has been a licensed heart math resilience trainer since 2012. Now she works as a health coach for humans and animals with focus on homeopathy, and also heads the Future Link Academy of Awareness Training. And she's involved in an innovative Future Link animal welfare project in her home, Greece. And she is a project angel of the Raymond Leap Foundation. It's her animal welfare project, which is accredited by the Volunteer World. and her declared goal is to achieve a life worth for animals and humans. Of course, that's such a wonderful mission and a goal. Here we welcome Mary Annie Kannengeiser, and we ask her to launch our Ghar Ghar Homoeopathy Project. I'm just sharing the screen of the video so that she can have a look at it and launch it. So here we have already formed 9 state councils and almost 75% of please mute yourself, those who are speaking, please mute yourself. So we have already have 9 state councils right now, and we have launched around almost in the 9 states, and the work is in full fervor. So I welcome Mary Annie Kannengeiser to speak a few words about her work and few encouraging for council members.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here. And thank you, dear Usha, for your workshop. I liked it very much. And as I'm into teamwork too, I want to add one little single thing. When we work with allopaths and homeopaths, which are very diverse in meaning and opinion, or we work as doctors with laymen, we have a lot of diversity too. And when it comes to decision making, usually as coming from a democracy, we tend to go for decision making by majority. And this is where you create the resistance in a project. And this is where you create the problems. Because when you go for decision making by the majority, and let's say you have 60% majority, you have already created 40% resistance. And this might be the one and only thing that makes your project fail. Because these are the people who are not caring, who are not sharing, who won't take responsibility, and sooner or later will just slowly drop out of the project. So I want to give you another opportunity for decision making, which is a sociocratic principle, decision making by consent. This is, we hear everybody's voice in decision making, even if it takes long time. In the end, this will save you a lot of problems. You hear everybody's voice, and you don't take a decision as long as everybody did consent to what you want to do, or at least wants to go to try and experiment on the decision the others want to take. So you don't have a single person in your team that is takes a diverse opinion or is in opposite opinion. This is how you encourage a team to really go for one thing, committed and by heart. Thank you, Usha. I know that you know it. But this thing of going for decision making by consent, really having everybody on your side, this is the tricky thing, and this is what makes a project succeed. I do it in my academy with every cause I'm leading. I do it in my animal project here in Greece with every volunteer who participates. I hear everybody's voice. I even hear the voices of the cats and the dog and the snake. And I try to care for everything and don't overrule or overtake or go over one single participant so that everybody walks in line. So this is the add-in I wanted to give, and I don't want to consume much time because we already had heard a lot of speaking. Is there any question of one of you on the sociocratic consent in decision-making as a tool for teams?
Yes, I have a question for you, Marianne, about decision-making as a tool. Yeah, how does it empower a team, the teamwork?
When you make a decision and you want to hear everybody's voice, you can give a stick to the one who is talking. You you hear the opinion of the one who's talking quietly, not disturbing, no interference. And then this one hands the stick over to the next one. And let's say you have 12 team members. So you hear what every one of the 12 team members has to say. And you make the decision only if everybody is in and nobody is out.
Yeah, that's a great one. Inclusiveness in decision making is very important. So that becomes an empowering tool for everyone. You know, it gives encouragement for those who are giving their opinions, as well as it empowers the leader or the team leader who is taking the decisions for the team. So that was a wonderful answer. Thank you for that. Anybody else has any questions for Marianne and Usha Sharma? If anybody has any questions, they can ask there. Yes, together we grow. We are here for that only, so that we grow, and along with us, we empower others. Anybody else? Any questions?
If anybody has questioned whether homeopathy works for animals as well, yes, it does, and it works perfectly.
Yeah.
We even treat the plants here with homeopathy.
Do you want to say a few words for that, like about how it works for for animals and plants?
It's just the same thing. You talk, you listen, you be aware, be present. You take all the symptoms that you are able to take. Then you go to the repertory, find your possibilities, then you prove in materia medica what you find, and then you give the remedy. Absolutely no difference.
I wanted to ask you another question. You are a resilience trainer and a heart math resilience trainer. What is it, and how does it help in the teamwork and team building?
You know, resilience is a term that comes from physics and mechanics. It shows that you can bend a material and bend and bend and bend, but if you let go, it doesn't break. So for doctors, it means you put them under maximum stress and they still are empathetic, non-violent in communication, aware, nice, polite, and with a good tone in the voice. So usually, as everybody tends to have bad feelings over this or the other, we need to replace the bad feelings with good feelings all the time, just as Usha said. And there are breathing techniques that help you to do it. For example, you can put one hand on the heart and then breathe in for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds till you feel calm. And then you just memorize the most beautiful moment in your life. And you're on the other side of emotions. If you have been angry before or impatient with a patient, you are the creator of your emotions, not the victim of your emotions. And you can change them anytime you want. You just need to take 30 seconds. And if you can't remember a very beautiful moment in your life, which can happen when you're very, very frustrated, you just think of a squirrel and the nose of a squirrel. And if that doesn't serve, think of the nose of a baby squirrel. That always makes people smile.
Such a wonderful answer. That's the reason, Marianne, you've been a guiding angel for me since long. And since you met me, I feel a great positive changes in my life as well. Thank you for that.
Thank you for having me here. I wish you all a wonderful meeting. I need to go and feed the cats of the sanctuary.
Thank you so much, Marianne, for spending your valuable time and coming here. Thank you so much. Anybody else has any questions for our Usha Sharma ji? Usha ji, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else has any questions for her? No questions. That's good. Yeah. Thank you, Usha Sharma ji, for sparing so much of valuable time here and giving such beautiful guidance about soft skills. And I'm sure that everyone, we are homeopaths as such, are very much good in the soft skills. But yet when it comes to team building, because somewhere people lag in the leadership skills and team building and quit out of, when there is a compassion fatigue, because already we take a lots of cases which are of long duration and it leads to the compassion fatigue. And because of that, sometimes it happens that they may quit from the teamwork. So that should not happen. That's the reason I had called you for this training. Thank you so much for your valuable guidance regarding soft skills. Dr.
Thank
Tanushree,
you. It was a pleasure. Yeah.
do you have any question, Tanushree, Dr. Tanushree?
Yes, ma'am, I do have a question. Ma'am, though I joined a little late, but I find the need of, requirement of developing soft skills is very important. I did have this one course in public health where I learned a little bit. I request, ma'am, if you can give us some frequent lectures on the same, because in day-to-day practice, I find it that I'm lacking somewhere in having soft skills.
Yeah. So
Sure.
she is a soft skills trainer as well as confidence building coach. And she runs a training academy as well. You can directly contact her if you need any
Right.
special coaching. And of course, she will be visiting us in between to give guiding lines. So,
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, Rajeshwari ma'am, आपने बहुत अच्छा कहा. You said like very well. Sometimes what happens because of the emotional baggage. After all, you are also human being, right? You are doctors, but first you are human being. So it's obvious that you will have your share of pain. You will have your share of hurt, your share of problems at home also. So it's quite obvious that you will feel overwhelmed with that and you may withdraw sometimes. Right? But being in such a position, like being in the doctor where you are the lifesaver, it is important that you be emotionally aware of your thoughts. And I suggest that everyone should have at least 30 minutes or 1 hour every day when you are doing only the thing that you like, which makes you feel happy.
Right.
So you can have a corner in your home. Okay, this is my corner where it's only I, me, and myself. And just can meditate, have some deep breath, listen to some good music. If it is like you can have play the song and dance like anything. But totally that time should be yours. Me time is very, very necessary
Right,
to
right,
keep
ma'am.
yourself fit. Okay.
Thank you,
Dr.
ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Shaji, if you have any links, you can share in the chat. And Marianne, if you also have any links, you can share in the chat so that our doctors can follow and seek guidelines about it, any guidance about it.
Yeah, sure. See, I'll share all the links of Instagram and Facebook and all this, or I can share my number.
Yeah, you can share
Okay.
your number as well. If
Yeah.
anybody needs any soft skill training, they can contact you.
Yes. My number, I'm sharing, you can note down my number. It's 9860516741, right? And those who wish to connect with me on Facebook or Instagram can just say hi, hello to me on WhatsApp on the same number, and then I'll share the links with you where we can connect with each other. And definitely, whenever there is a need, I'll be there. Dr. Rajeshwari ma'am is a good friend of mine, and whenever she calls me, I'll be definitely there with her. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am. I need to thanks everyone. May I take the leave now?
Yeah, you can take that.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being a wonderful participative audience. Thanks. Good night, and once again,
Good night.
best wishes for your Ghar Ghar Homeopathy project.
Yeah, thank you. Marianne, are you there? Okay, so on behalf of Marianne, I just say that she runs the Future Link Academy, and she is also active on the Facebook and YouTube as well as LinkedIn. You can find her by her name, and if you want, you can follow her. You can also seek her guidance if you want. So that is about our launching program today. We have wonderful members whom I'm going to bring in between to encourage your spirits. And this will help you to gain confidence in conducting the trainings, as soft skills are a very important part for trainings, because you are the future ambassadors to carry on the work of Ghar Ghar Homoeopathic Project nationwide. You'll require all these skills. In the past one of the past meetings, one of a member had said that I don't have the confidence. So this is what helps in building your confidence. Get trained in the soft skills, get trained in building your confidence, and run the Ghar Ghar Homeopathy Project. Of course, along with the knowledge of the subject. Do you have any questions to ask for me? I'm closing the live now, and